Hello and welcome back. It's me. Yes, me. It's kind of funny. I was watching Rhett and Link's second channel, and they have a new morning show called Good Mythical Morning. It's not as good as Good Morning Chia Lincoln, which was interesting, but this one they try to be a little bit more gimmicky, and I suppose pander to the crowd, not the crowd, the audience. Well, there's nothing wrong, I suppose, giving a shit about your audience or people that are paying attention to you and listening to you, or promoting the fact that you are successful? No, I can't really say that in my case, because I can't really state that I'm successful. I'm just some asshole yelling at my computer for 10-15 minutes at a time, which is, I'm sorry that they're so long, but sometimes I just go on a tangent, or I'm so drunk that I lose track of time. It's amazing how easy it is to lose track of time when you are intoxicated beyond all belief. I suppose a lot of people know that as well, but I run across that a lot. But as I was saying about Good Mythical Morning by Rhett and Link, was they brought up a topic that they're talking about approaching women, approaching women and talking to women. And Rhett was mentioning that he was dating a girl where he would be so nervous to talk to this girl that he would actually write down things that he could talk to her about when he would call her on the phone, because that was the thing to do when you were a teenager back in the 90s, even the early thousands, before the high-speed internet became really available to the whole world, except for, like, Farmer Vision. But fuck those people in the country. They can die. They'll never see this. So I found that kind of hilarious that he's like, I have to write down things to do, or things to talk to her about, because I'm nervous to talk to her. And I found that I was doing that as well with you guys. That's right, I would have a little sticky note on my other monitor here, and it would have topics that I could talk about. Unfortunately, I found that they made horrible and not very smooth transitions into the other topics. I'd be talking about one thing and suddenly I'm talking about something else. There's not really much of a segue there. It's okay though. So I found that hilarious. Another thing I found hilarious, that's a segue, I gotta practice on that shit, is my impeccable ability to kill a conversation. I can clear a room, I can kill a conversation, and I can offend almost anybody that I'm around. That is the person I am, as an individual that I have not really sought to become, but have just by coincidence and circumstance ended up being. For example, I just created a new Facebook event for a movie night, my first movie night of 2012. My previous ones being the sci-fi double feature, the what the fuck was the other one? Horror double feature. That was it. Horror, not horror. Don't make that mistake. Although I would like to one day. It's okay. And I finally made the nostalgia double feature of 2012. And I had the audacity to invite my cousin Derek. And of course, Derek is a pompous, ignorant asshole. He's an individual that has too much time. Yeah, he makes it seem as though he's a lot more important than he really is. It's hilarious. He gets into a situation where he's uncomfortable, so he starts talking smarter and more pretentious and ignorant than, well, not necessarily ignorant, but just better than you. That's all. Just to assert that he may not make up much for size, but he will outdo you in intellect or just trivial, pointless facts. Sorry, I got a bit of a hiccup right here. Let me just clear that out. So I invited him with knowing the complete reason that, I have to go take care of something. I'll be right back. There we go. Sorry. I probably looked extremely weird. I had gotten some feedback about my furnace and ambient noise. Although, I wonder if there's a way for me to edit that out, because that was just awkward and weird. Fuck it! That is what happens when I get feedback that ambient noise is something that is distracting to people that watch this. And by people, I mean Ryan. And by that, I mean thank you. So, as I was saying, I invited Derek to my movie night. And of course, knowing that he would decline instantly. Or actually, what was his excuse? I can't promise whether or not I can make it, but I'm loving the movie choices. And the movie choices for the Nostalgia Movie Night are Dick Tracy, the 1990 classic, which I've never seen, and also Three Amigos, which has, a white-haired guy, Better by the Dozen, crap, I don't remember his name right now. No. Almost had it there. He was in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles as well. I know a couple movies that he's in, but I just can't place him. That's all. And so he's like, I love the movie choices, but I don't think I'll be able to make it. Big fucking surprise. You're too busy going out and drinking 4 or 5 times a week and being a fucking... I don't want to get into too much of a personal attack here. Last time I did that, it seemed a little odd, especially when I showed the person that I attacked that video. Oh my. And then, as I was saying about killing the conversation, my friend Liz, she attends practically all my movie nights, although she abandoned my last movie night. So I fell asleep a couple of times watching Cowboys and Aliens, and I was asleep completely through the train wreck of Super 8. That doesn't mean that it's a good reason to take off and go drinking with your friends and have fun. Fuck! How dare you? Fun. Yeah. So Liz had mentioned about Derek's like, oh, I'd love to watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I'm like, we already watched that on one of the movie nights. If you ever fucking attended, you would have probably seen that. And she's like, oh, it would be great to watch Roger. I'm like, well, you know, it is a bit of a democracy. If you people want to vote for it, I'll change it up. I'm not having a triple feature. There's no way I'm going to stay awake for a triple feature. And she's like, no, don't try to change it for a person that says maybe. And Derek's like, yeah, that's right. And to end this conversation, like, we've been going back and forth for a couple of minutes here, just the three of us in this little chat window, and it's like, I agree, too. Fuck him. He never comes anyways. Ha 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 ha. And that was the end of the conversation right there. I was chatting with my friend Ryan earlier, and I'm like, hey, dude, I got a TV from a friend. I was wondering if you want it. He's like, well, the only time you'd be able to drop it off here is on Friday. I know the reason why I can only drop it off there on Friday, because any other day of the week there's a possibility that my ex will be around and that I will encounter her, and it'll make things awkward and weird, and then someone's gonna freak out, man. And we don't want that. For the younger viewers, that was a quote of Half-Baked. Just to put out there. Not to be a weird stoner or anything like that. So, I had mentioned very sarcastically, although that is very difficult to come through in text, it may just come out as more of a dick thing to say is, I know, you're a very busy man. Which is kind of just saying, fuck you, too. And then, for some horrible reason, I was actually... typical reason. I was extremely drunk on Saturday night. I really didn't feel like doing too much. So I was not tired enough to go to bed, but I wasn't motivated enough to do homework or watch a movie or a TV show or anything like that. So I'm like, why not try out this chat roulette thing? How bad could it be? Oh my god. It is fucking intensely horrible. There's a couple of things in chat roulette which I find incredibly disturbing. One, Canadians are snobs. You may find it surprising that number one is that for me. But when you run across another Canadian, you're a Canadian. You're like, hey, you're Canadian. Hey, we should talk for a moment. Hey, but no, a Canadian, they just instantly clicking through people like they're fucking Pop-Tarts. Not Pop-Tarts. That's not appropriate. Just like they're candy corn. You're going through it like nothing. And then people jacking off. I didn't have the safety filters on at first. And even with the safety filters, at least every 1 in 10 people was somebody jacking off. I don't want to see that. There was only like one thing of a woman's breasts, and that was just a picture. That's not even entertaining. Not like I'm going on chat roulette to look at titties or people jacking off. But you know what? If the former happens, I'm not going to complain as much as the latter. That's just fucking weird. Ah! And ran across a couple of Canadians that weren't complete and total snobs. Unfortunately, they're extremely far away or they're excessively young. A couple people from British Columbia, a chick from Toronto, a couple of Nova Scotianers, and then ran into some people from Calgary, but they were 8 years old, which was just awkward. Wow, and a lot of another thing I was seeing a lot on chat roulette was people laying in bed with their webcam on them. Like, who the fuck is on the internet videoing or recording themselves while they're laying in bed? No, every time I ran across one of those people, I'm like, go to bed, go to sleep. You look fucking tired. Jesus Christ. I was out there moderating people on chat roulette. Oh, excuse me, that was rude. So, looks like I'm getting a little long in here. So, I guess that is this how I'm going to end it? With just some awkward stuttering and just stuff? No. School's been going well. Actually, school is fucking horrible. I'm on my last week of school. I'm looking forward to it ending very, very soon, and hopefully me not failing horribly. Thank you for joining me another time. Thank you for joining me. Have a good night.